Top-of-the-line humanoids, robot giants, bizarre gadgets, and unusual solutions at IREX 2025. As always, we got our eyes on the prize. So here's highlights creme de la creme from the International Robot Exhibition that just closed in Japan. Let's get it. Consistency is the mother of mastery, and Kawasaki knows this too well, because just like last year and the years before, Kawasaki booth was the talk of the town. This is their vision of the future, Nippon style. The company brought an entire robot ecosystem, from heavy-duty humanoid rescue robots to nursing assistants, from a mobile cyberhorse to bare-bones industrial machines. And it's all unified by a single idea. Robots should work where it's hard, dangerous, and boring for humans, while also being nearby for help and support. Here's the lineup. Kaleido 9 is the updated version of Kawasaki's heavyweight rescue robot. Standing at about 180 centimeters tall or 5'11 and weighing 80 kilos or 176 pounds, it's built for the toughest and most dangerous jobs: clearing debris, rescuing folks, and working in fire zones or hazardous material environments. Kaleido can lift objects up to 18 kilos or 40 pounds and push heavy items like metal shelves weighing up to 30 kilos or 66 pounds, all while maintaining balance even after sudden or twitchy movements. Other tasks that require both strength and stability are also on the menu. The robot operates in two modes: autonomous, based on preset commands and sensor data, and teleoperated via the successor telepresence system. For example, clearing debris is best done under operator control, as it's safer for the robot. In this mode, a human performs the movement and then the robot precisely repeats it with the necessary force and synchronization required for rescue operations. Yet, full or partial autonomy is used for demonstrations like the ones Kawasaki pampered audiences with at a prior Expo, since an operator simply cannot account for all the structures and obstacles the robot would need to overcome. Next up is Friends, a humanoid partner designed for everyday life. It's lightweight, friendly, and built for daily interaction with people. It stands at approximately 160 centimeters or 5'3 and weighs about 55 kilos or 121 pounds. This compact design is deliberate, making it easier for the robot to move in the limited spaces of a typical Japanese home. This year, the robot sported a skirt, but that's not necessarily a permanent feature. It's more likely that Friends wasn't stable enough to stand in the exhibition aisle on its own and interact with visitors. Also, the robot's hands are a bit of a bummer. They don't seem to have been designed for fine motor skills. Nevertheless, the robot is positioned as an assistant in nursing homes, a guide or companion in all kinds of organizations, and even an assembler on factory lines. Despite years of development, though, neither Kaleido nor Friends are commercial products as of yet. Therefore, internal company research only, unlike the robots we're about to show you. This is Nyokkey, a mobile service robot with two arms that can work safely alongside people. Potentially, it could get a job assisting in restaurants, cleaning hotels, escorting guests, and helping staff move stuff from one place to another. Built on Nyokkey platform, Kawasaki created the Nurabot, a medical assistant already being used in Taiwanese clinics. Nurabot transports biological samples, delivers medications, escorts patients, and takes on routine tasks that are often cited to cause nurse burnouts. This is not a prototype. It's a real product. Nurabot also works perfectly in tandem with the company's mobile courier robots. Finally, we have the robot that stole the show from Humanoids with its futuristic design, the four-legged Corleo. This is the cyberhorse where Kawasaki merged its robotics and motorcycle heritage. The company believes that truly unconventional transport concepts will emerge in the future, and Corleo is one possible option. You can ride it and gallop on top of rocks, gravel, grass, or any other cross-country terrain. What's more, the robot is powered by a hydrogen engine, meaning its only exhaust is water. An integrated interface shows stability, fuel levels, and even illuminates optimal foot placement spots at night. At the booth, Corleo became the symbol of a new direction: robotic personal mobility, where human and machine become a single system. Of course, the Kawasaki booth also featured the company's traditional industrial robots, but all the attention was elsewhere. Still, there were interesting solutions here as well. For instance, K-Lab is a new robotic system for laboratories from Kawasaki. This is a smart platform where industrial robots take over routine and dangerous work. They transfer test tubes, prepare samples, load them into analyzers, and connect different instruments into one automated workflow. The system is easily reconfigured for different tasks like clinical analyses, PCR tests, handling viruses, or pharmaceutical research. The robots work quickly, precisely, and error-free, giving the lab a stable sample processing flow and high throughput. The strangest booth at IREX by far this year belonged to Kobe Kosen Robotics. This is a team of researchers and developers from Kobe City College of Technology, known for unusual solutions such as wall-climbing robots. The exact purpose of this Unitree G1 robot with its tentacles is anyone's guess. What we gathered from the demo was that hand movements are somehow transferred to Dr. Octopus tentacles here. Anything besides that, and Captain Obvious here has run out of ideas. Write your version in the comments. And get this. Kobe Kosen booth also featured a cheerful window washing robot that easily reattaches itself to the surface if it doesn't stick. Also, let us know what you think this miniature robotic arm is for. Not to mention the robot dog, which has suction cup feet and seems to be designed to clean windows with a brush attached to its head. You know what to do. Eyevolution, a Chinese company from Shanghai, focuses on creating Bio-Mimetic machine vision systems for robots. It develops binocular cameras and AI algorithms that imitate human sight, letting robots perceive depth, recognize objects, and adapt to complex environments. Basically, everything is aimed at making robots more perceptive, independent in navigation and real-world interaction tasks. PaXini Technology showcased two new-generation humanoid robots this year at IREX, Tora 1 and Tora Double 1. Tora 1 is the older, quote-unquote, smarter model. It boasts 47 degrees of freedom and nearly 2,000 tactile sensors, giving it over 7,800 channels of sensitivity. The robot distinguishes pressure, texture, friction, and even temperature. It literally feels an object like a human. Its height is adjustable from 145 to 185 centimeters, or 4'9" to 6'1". Its arms lift 6 to 8 kilos, or 13 to 18 pounds each, and its movement accuracy is up to 0.05 millimeters, or 2/1000 of an inch. Thanks to cameras, LiDAR, and SLAM laser, Tora 1 can position itself in 360, moves autonomously, and runs for up to 8 hours on a single charge. This robot is designed for tasks where precision, accuracy, and intelligent perception are key. Tora Double 1, on the other hand, is its lighter, more mobile version. It has 58 degrees of freedom plus high stability and mobility. A more complex, modular platform lets the robot walk upstairs and over uneven ground, reaching speeds of up to 2 kilometers or 1.2 miles per hour on flat surfaces. Double 1's superpower, though, is its ability to determine its own height, 145 to 185 centimeters or 4'9" to 6'1". Regardless if the robot decides to be as tall as Peter Dinklage or Keanu Reeves for the day, it can still lift up to 4 kilos or 9 pounds with each hand, and is suitable for jobs in stores, offices, manufacturing, and open airs. Hyundai presented a whole series of products based on the Mobed platform. While it might look like child's play, it's one of the most technological and versatile mobile robots today. Mobed, short for Mobile Eccentric Droid, is a robot platform that Hyundai is creating as a new generation of mobility for places where machinery usually have trouble maneuvering. This nifty little thing is about 60 to 70 centimeters or 24 to 28 inches long, 50 centimeters or 20 inches wide, and only 30 centimeters or 12 inches tall. But despite its size, it does an active suspension with 3 degrees of freedom on each of the 4 wheel modules. The wheels themselves can come up and down, change their angle, and adjust pressure, almost floating over any terrain while keeping the platform perfectly horizontal. Mobed can even take on stairs. What changes the suspension geometry in milliseconds is its powerful control unit, where robust SLAM navigation, LiDAR, camera, and inertial sensors allow it to build a real-time map. Whoever just thought of saying, gee whiz, that's a smart chassis, wrong. It's a mobile platform that can be turned into anything. An autonomous courier or a food delivery platform, a camera dolly for filmmaking, a lab on wheels, small logistics transport inside warehouses with a manipulator installed for moving boxes, and even a robot pet for children and educational centers. At the exhibition, Hyundai showcased 2 options: Mobed Basic, a lighter version for developers, educational institutions, and startups who want to build their own modules on top, manipulators, containers, cameras, sensors, you name it. And then there's Mobed Pro, a fully autonomous version for commercial applications, with improved controls, stabilization, and the ability to work in crowded places. Mobed is designed for a payload of 20 to 25 kilos, which is 44 or 55 pounds, enough to carry equipment, small cases, batteries, tools, or camera gear. In real pilot projects, it's already being used at Hyundai Motor Studio and several Korean research centers as a platform for mobile assistant robots. But the company views Mobed as part of a larger vision, new urban mobility, where on top of the people and the cars moving through the streets, there's these small, autonomous rovers riding around, doing their thing. There's nothing new under the sun, but this year, IREX has a few unusual and slightly weird concepts and gadgets to present. For example, this peculiar robot control system that looks like an armchair. It's an immersive capsule interface where you can sit and transmit movements to a robot with minimal effort. Developers say the system is designed to minimize the toll on the operator. Nobody's expecting razor-sharp precision here, but basic delivery or transportation tasks seem to be as easy as pie. What do you guys think of this idea? Let us know. Another unusual and, can we say, very Japanese solution is a robotic chair in the form of a soft, fluffy bear. It offers not just rest, but healing and comfort. If you want to share with it, the robot will give you a hug, listen to you, and even offer a simple, Zen-style piece of advice. The idea is that a cozy frame and warm words will calm your body and mind. Would you like to have a robot like this? Apparently, hugs are pretty current in Japan, where the population is especially prone to stress from overwork. There's many cuddle gadgets, including this pillow, or rather, a pair of pillows. The device was developed by a graduate student from Kanazawa Institute of Technology who was in a long-distance relationship. The point of the device is that when you hug one robotic pillow, the second one transmits your hug to your partner. That's definitely one of the ways to fight loneliness. Lumos Robotics is another Chinese startup from Shenzhen. Founded only in 2024, it already presented its full-size humanoid robot. The killer feature of the Lus robot, which stands at about 160 centimeters tall or 5'3" and weighs about 60 kilos or 132 pounds, is its extreme reactivity. For example, the robot is capable of getting up off the floor in less than a second, demonstrating exceptional dynamics and balance. The second generation, Lus 2, uses advanced motion control modules, high-performance actuators with high torque density, and tactile sensing technologies for object grasping. The robots are also equipped with their own quote-unquote embodied AI systems, which integrate vision, language, action, and tactile feedback for more accurate interaction with the environment. The company is rapidly expanding. In addition to full-sized humanoids, Lumos is developing small modules for the home, modular components, high-sensitivity sensors, and robotic arms. It's already raised nearly $28 million in investment capital for this line of work. It's no surprise that the Japanese are finding it hard to compete with China that is oh so generous with financial support for companies in robotics. Purdue, a company mainly known for its waiter robots, unexpectedly presented its Quadruped, the D5, at IREX this year. It's positioned as an industrial robot created for places where ordinary platforms cannot go, like construction sites, airports, infrastructure facilities, and huge industrial areas. The series includes two versions, the classic D5 and the hybrid D5W with wheels, allowing it to accelerate up to 5 meters or 16 feet per second on flat surfaces. At the robot's core is a fire of computational power up to 275 tops, provided by NVIDIA Orin paired with RK3588. This lets it simultaneously do SLAM, 3D perception, object recognition, and real-time route planning. One charge is enough for 14 kilometers or 8.7 miles of autonomous operations, and payloads reach an impressive 30 kilos or 66 pounds. The D5 confidently climbs slopes up to 30 degrees, overcomes steps up to 25 centimeters or 10 inches, and adapts its gait to terrain, vibration, and uneven surfaces. It's also reported to recognize gestures, respond to voice commands, and patrol areas larger than a square kilometer or 250 acres. What we're trying to say is this: competition in China is afoot, not only for humanoids, but also for robot dogs. A Spanish company, Paul Robotics, participated in IREX 2025 for the very first time, and boy did they come in with a bang. Their booth mainly showcased the Tiago Pro platform, a robot designed for flexible manufacturing, logistics, and collaborative work with people. The bot is equipped with safe movement mechanisms, a human interaction system, and adapts to a bunch of tasks like moving objects, assisting in warehouses, or participating in assembly lines. The company emphasizes that its platform is ready for the Japanese market, focusing on the needs of industries that require safe human-machine collaboration. Hiroshi Ishiguro, a Kyosho of robotics and Osaka University professor, thought it'd be a good idea to study potential relationships between humans and machines. So he installed a robot at the main hall at IREX 2025. This android is modeled after a 10-year-old child and has a certain level of facial expressions and a limited set of movements. It's all designed to evoke an emotional response in humans. Japan is actually considering the option of machine-to-machine collaboration. For example, what do you think of the idea of humanoid robot operating construction equipment? It's theoretically interesting, but in practice, seems like it'd be quite difficult to implement. The sheer number of Unitree robots at IREX this year was frankly overwhelming. At the booth of TechShare, for example, Unitree's official distributor in Japan, you could watch G1 robot battles and evaluate their dynamics. But we've seen that before. What we are seeing for the first time in action at any event is the new Unitree R1 Humanoid. Even at exhibitions in China, these robots were just sitting in chairs. This is a compact robot weighing about 25 kilos or 55 pounds with 24 or 26 degrees of freedom at a price of a high-end laptop. The R1 walked, kept its balance, and reacted to voice and gestures. Its purpose is to be an affordable platform for educational institutions like labs and developers who need a first humanoid for experiments and tests. They also showed the Quadruped Go 2 and Go 2W, which calmly navigated stairs and demonstrated hybrid wheel-leg kinematics. At the GMO AI and Robotics trading booth, for example, the G1 had a different role. The company is building a business around the idea of robot as staff. So 3 real areas were created: a cafe, a store, and a warehouse. In the cafe, the G1 brought a tray. In the store, it showed merchandise, and in the warehouse, it moved small boxes. GMO exhibited 3 humanoid robots. In addition to the G1, there was the PM01 from Engine AI and Walker E from UBTech. The PM01 from Engine AI is 138 centimeters tall or 4'6", weighing 40 kilos or 88 pounds with a waist rotation of 320 degrees. It can do a front flip, folks. This robot was also part of GMO's lineup for future rental of service humanoids. The Walker E from UBTech is also expected to join the lineup of robots offered by GMO for events, research, and real-world applications. However, unlike its counterparts, it was quite literally hanging. And Kafusha demonstrated its Android teleoperation system on the G1 using a Meta Quest 3 VR headset. Overall, this gives you an idea of how high of a demand G1 is in by both researchers and corporations. A new player in the field of emotional robotics got its seat at the IREX table this year: Deep Touch. The company specializes in realistic companion androids capable of interacting with humans in real time. The company website states that the robots are equipped with their own sensory and neural network systems, combining vision, voice, analysis, and micro-movements. It also notes that they can instantly react to a person's facial expression, posture, and tone. The robot tracks gaze, changes eye expression, tilts its head, repeats after you, and forms smooth reactions, no lag. All this is meant to create the illusion of full live communication. However, at the booth, the robots were static, and only a few performed the simplest arm movements or even blinked. Still, there was an interesting installation with a robot sitting by the bed of an elderly person, apparently trying to provide company, as this robot certainly wouldn't be able to actually provide any care. But Deep Touch targets the companionship, education, and customer service markets, where contact and trust are important. But for contact, robots aren't yet smart enough. And to assess trust, well, one needs to know where they store the information collected from cameras, microphones, and how that data is transmitted. Didn't get to see Gundam at IREX this year? Have no fear. The second largest giant robot in Japan made it to the exhibition. Arzax wasn't just standing there though. Visitors could climb inside and try controlling its arms. The 4.5 meter or 14.8 feet tall robot is now equipped with 4 internal screens. Teleoperation lets you now move the arms and fingers. The robot itself can also move, but this feature was unavailable inside the exhibition hall. Basically, it's everything you've dreamt of since childhood and seen in sci-fi movies. To quote the CTO of Tsubame Industry, Ishii Hironori, "The main thing we wanted was to make it cool and moving properly." But the most gigantic of them all at this year's exhibition was ZIZAI. This is heavy duty, created specifically for servicing railway infrastructure. It drives on rails and roads and does jobs up high under some serious pressure. Robots' movements are controlled by a person, and the controls are intuitive, natural, and spot on. Cameras installed on ZIZAI give the operator a full view. The 2-armed power platform on a massive base is designed for operations at heights of over 10 meters or 33 feet. The robot is intended for painting support, pruning trees along tracks, working with contact networks, and handling large infrastructure elements. ZIZAI has been exhibited before, but for its younger brother, the ZIZAI ZX3 robot, this exhibition was its first public appearance. ZX3 is more compact, maneuverable, and can work in tighter spaces. In the Tokyo demo, the robot lifted and held large tools, performing precise movements that require both strength and stability. The main principle here is human-machine integration. The operator controls the robot's arms in real time, and the system compensates for mass, vibrations, sudden movements, and external loads, turning complex and dangerous labor into a controlled procedure. Another Japanese company at IREX 2025 was Kawada Robotics. It's notable because it's been creating and training its robots for a long time. Although they have humanoid form, they are essentially cobots, agile manipulators that stand on the assembly line next to people. This is why next-age robots were not placed near the majority of Chinese humanoids, but in the industrial robot zone. Next-age robots are 2-armed cobots already working on assembly operations in electronics and electrical engineering, such as making electronic toys. They also help assemble ATM components and terminals for Glory Ltd. And are used in production stages in the car manufacturing, cosmetic, and food industries. The robots have machine vision and can perform close-call operations with both solid and soft objects. For example, they can gently peel the protective film of a device or double-sided tape. It's not surprising that next-stage robots were presented at the booths of several companies demonstrating their application in a whole range of scenarios. Our old acquaintances, Mirokaï robots, were also at IREX this year. These cute Disney-style bots move on a spherical base and can work as delivery robots in hospitals. But there's a catch. Unlike many companies, Enchanted Tools decided not to train the robot to grasp objects, as that remains highly complex. Instead, to commercialize Mirokaï faster, they taught it to grab only one handle. This handle is specially designed and sold separately from the robot. The system works like this. The handles are attached to a tray, and the items to be delivered to or collected from a patient are placed on the tray, for example, for laundry. The robot then takes the tray and delivers it to the destination, maintaining balance and not dropping or spilling anything. But Mirokaï has another function: to support and comfort patients, evoking empathy and pleasant emotions. The entire design is aimed at this, including its animated eyes. It can't communicate directly, but it can certainly look like it sympathizes with you. Although IREX is considered one of the largest exhibitions in the world, it's especially evident here how much the Japanese are losing to the Chinese in the number of companies and developments in the field of humanoid robots. This is despite the fact that the country officially committed to robotization back in 2015, partly due to an aging population. And this isn't just about replacing people in factories, but also about elderly care. Obviously, Japan is still better in industrial robotics. This strength was perfectly demonstrated by the Fanuc M2000IA robot. Built for heavy loads weighing up to 2.3 tons, the robot doesn't just move this weight around. It controls it perfectly and adheres to its designated working area. The DCS, Dynamic Control Software for speed and position control, is responsible for this accuracy. Although, if you want to be super sure, the robots can also be equipped with IR Vision error-proofing technical vision. On top of that, there was also a number of grippers present for its industrial manipulators at the exhibition, such as vacuum grippers or soft grippers for delicate work with complex solids. Yaskawa jumped on the bandwagon this year and showcased its first humanoid robot. It's surprising because Yaskawa is known for its standard industrial robots, which fit perfectly for the automotive industry and, who'da thunk it, for billiards, of all things as well. What's not at all surprising is that the robot doesn't look innovative. Yet, it does have an ace up its sleeve. For this project, the company partnered with another Japanese giant, SoftBank. So, we have one expert in robotics and one in communication technologies, among other things. Together, they plan to create physical AI, a synergy of artificial intelligence, communication, and robots. The same idea was demonstrated visually by Motoman Next Robots. Yaskawa used them to clearly show the integration of multifunctional autonomous robots in an office environment. Two key technologies underpin this system. The first is SoftBank's AI RAN, which combines AI and radio access networks to analyze streams of data in real time. The second is multi-access edge computing, Mech, a platform with operational AI, processing data from cameras, sensors, and building management systems. This allows the robot to quickly assess a situation, make decisions, and act accordingly. This could become real high-value tech in the near future, but for now, it's just words and demos. AgiBot Corporation is a Japanese company founded over 20 years ago. It sprouted out of scientific community at Tokyo Institute of Technology. Its mission is to make the world safer and more sustainable by creating robotic systems for inspection, maintenance, and work in hazardous environments. At IREX 2025, AgiBot showcased 3 of its flagship solutions. 1. Float Arm, a modular multi-axis manipulator arm for safe inspections in hazardous and confined spaces. The arm can collect precise data using sensors like UT, EMAT, RT X-ray, and others without the need to build scaffolding or send employees into a danger zone. 2. Squid, an autonomous system for inspecting boilers and tube coils, which also collects data on wall thickness remotely without people entering the area. This technology significantly enhances the safety and efficiency of maintenance for various systems. 3. Explainer T, a new system for maintaining high voltage and power transmission lines designed to reduce risk to humans by more than 80%. Simple and useful. Among the Chinese and Japanese companies, a few Korean ones occasionally raise their head. For example, Robros brought its own humanoid robot, IREX, to the exhibition. It stands at 164 centimeters or 5'4" and weighs 60 kilos or 132 pounds. It has 31 degrees of freedom not counting the arms and 6 degrees of freedom in each hand. The payload is currently small, only 3 kilos or 6.6 pounds per hand, while the operating time is about 2 hours, depending on how heavy it gets. Only the hardware is ready though. Software is still under development. Nevertheless, the company is already conducting real-world tests of the robot in logistics with its partners because IREX can already grasp and move objects. Robros also sells its humanoids to research teams around the world. AgiBot A2, which recently set a Guinness World Record by walking 106 kilometers or 66 miles non-stop across Shanghai, also joined the Chinese contingent in Tokyo this year. The robot has a fairly standard set for a successful market launch: human-like form, height of 175 centimeters or 5'9", weight of 55 kilos or 121 pounds, fast joint actuators, and a stable gait. A2 is the flagship of the young Chinese company AgiBot, founded by former Huawei engineers. In the 2 years, the startup has gone from a lab to nearly 1,000 robots already produced. The engineers focus on energy efficiency, fast reaction, simple repair, and cheap production. The robot is trained through multimodal models. It understands voice, sees an object, plans an action, and executes it without rigid programming. A2 is built for 8 areas, from logistics and security inspection to working at exhibitions, stores, and offices. At the show, the robot demonstrated confidence and precision, trying to convince visitors that it can be a quiet, reliable, and useful worker. Lynx Dynamics promoted its humanoid robot Ollie this year. We've mentioned before that the humanoid market in China is starting to look like a bubble, but Ollie is unlikely to be left behind. Lynx Dynamics is another fledgling startup, but it's built by an experienced team that delivers amazing results in short time. Their humanoid stands at about 165 centimeters tall or 5'5", weighs about 55 kilos or 121 pounds, and has over 30 degrees of freedom plus its own drive system. Ollie demonstrates balanced walking, fast stability recovery, and the ability to stand up, key skills for working in human environments. The company emphasizes practicality. The robot's architecture is open to developers with a Python SDK and a set of tools for training, manipulation, and navigation. Lynx promotes Ollie as a platform for embodied AI, capable of performing basic tasks like carrying objects, simple manipulations, and moving over uneven surfaces. But the robot's main advantages are its accessibility and trainability. At IREX 2025, Mech-Mind Robotics showed how its unified system works, calling it eyes, brain, hands. It combines 3D vision, artificial intelligence, and precise manipulators. At the booth, robots independently found, grabbed, sorted objects, folded clothes, and confidently worked with things that are difficult for ordinary grasping systems. Their embodied intelligence technology makes the robot not just an executing machine, but an autonomous agent capable of seeing, analyzing, and acting in the real world. Mech-Mind positions itself as a leader in the field where AI, sensors, and mechanics become a single whole. Their developments are already used in car, metalworking, and logistics industries, and IREX 2025 served as a platform for the company to demonstrate that these technologies are ready to move beyond factory floors and into service scenarios. That's it, folks. What's your impression of this year's IREX? Do you think humanity will be able to build a, quote, sustainable society through robotics? Let us know in the comments. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, like our videos, and stay tuned for more from the world of high tech.